you're planning a trip to Europe in 2025, get ready for some big changes. New regulations are being introduced that could affect everything from visa requirements to airport security and digital travel restrictions. Whether you're a frequent traveler or visiting Europe for the first time, these new rules for European travel in 2025 could change the way you plan your trip. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you stay updated on all the latest travel changes and tips. Now, let's take a look at the major new rules for European travel in 2025 and how they could impact your next trip. Number 1. ETIAS, the new travel authorization for U.S. travelers. One of the biggest changes in 2025 is the introduction of the European Travel Information and Authorization System, ETIAS. If you're from the United States, Canada, or any country that previously did not require a visa for short visits, you will now need to apply for etias before traveling to most European countries. This is not a visa, but rather a pre-travel authorization, similar to the ESTA system used in the United States. To apply for ETIAS, travelers must complete an online application and pay a small fee. The approval process is usually quick, but it is recommended to apply at least a few days before departure. Once approved, ETIAS will be valid for 3 years, allowing multiple short stays of up to 90 days within a 180-day period. Travelers who do not obtain ETIAS before their trip may be denied entry upon arrival, so it is essential to complete this process in advance. Number 2. Stricter entry and exit regulations. In addition to ETIAS, Europe is implementing the Entry-Exit System EES, a new digital border control system. This system will replace the traditional passport stamping process with biometric scans, including facial recognition and fingerprinting. The goal of EES is to improve security and track travelers' movements more efficiently. Upon entering or exiting a Schengen zone country, travelers will have their biometric data recorded, which will help authorities monitor overstays and ensure compliance with visa-free travel rules. This change may lead to longer wait times at border checkpoints, especially during peak travel seasons, so travelers should prepare for possible delays when arriving at or leaving Europe. Number 3. Updated airport security procedures. European airports are gradually introducing new security measures, including advanced 3D baggage scanning technology. These new scanners allow passengers to leave liquids and electronics inside their carry-on bags during security screening, reducing the hassle of unpacking at checkpoints. While this will speed up the screening process at many airports, some locations may still require traditional security checks, so travelers should stay updated on specific airport policies. Another key change involves enhanced scrutiny of electronic devices. Some travelers may be asked to power on their laptops, tablets, or smartphones during security checks. Additionally, certain items that were previously allowed in carry-on bags may face new restrictions, so it is advisable to check airline and airport guidelines before packing. Number 4. Revised travel insurance requirements. Some European countries are introducing stricter requirements for travel insurance, particularly for visitors from non-EU countries. While travel insurance has always been recommended, it may now become mandatory for certain travelers, especially those applying for ETIAS or visiting Europe for extended periods. The new requirements may include mandatory coverage for medical expenses, emergency evacuations, and trip cancellations. Travelers should carefully review their insurance policies to ensure they meet the minimum coverage levels required by their destination country. Those without adequate insurance could be denied entry or required to purchase a policy upon arrival. Number 5. Higher tourist taxes in popular destinations. Several European cities are increasing tourist taxes to manage overcrowding and fund local infrastructure improvements. Popular destinations such as Venice, Barcelona, and Amsterdam are implementing new or higher fees for visitors, which may be added to hotel bills or collected at entry points. Venice is introducing a day tripper fee for visitors who do not stay overnight, while Barcelona is raising its tourist tax for hotels and short-term rentals. These fees vary by city and travel season, so tourists should budget accordingly and check for any additional costs before booking their accommodations. These are some of the most significant new rules for European travel in 2025. If you're planning a trip, staying informed about these changes will help ensure a smooth and hassle-free experience. Number 6. Changes to luggage and baggage allowances. In 2025, several European airlines are revising their baggage policies to better align with environmental sustainability efforts and streamline operations. For many travelers, this means updated luggage weight limits, baggage fees, and even hand luggage restrictions. Airlines are incentivizing travelers to pack lighter and consider carry-ons to reduce the environmental footprint of air travel. Many airlines are introducing stricter rules for carry-on baggage size and weight, and some have already started charging additional fees for large carry-ons, especially in low-cost travel sectors. If you're planning to travel to or within Europe, make sure to check the updated baggage allowance for your airline. Remember, many airlines are also enforcing strict size requirements for hand luggage, so be prepared for tighter regulations. Additionally, if you're carrying sports equipment, musical instruments, or large items, there may be special fees or restrictions. Some destinations in Europe are considering more stringent policies for baggage handling at the airport, such as requiring extra fees for checked baggage during peak travel periods, which could become a norm by the middle of 2025. Number 7. Increased focus on environmental regulations. With sustainability becoming a priority for many European nations, several countries are implementing new environmental regulations that could affect tourists. One major change expected in 2025 is the introduction of carbon offsetting fees for travelers. This means that when you book a flight to Europe, a small surcharge could be added to your ticket to compensate for the carbon emissions associated with your flight. This will likely become standard practice in many European countries, particularly in eco-conscious cities like Amsterdam, Paris, and Copenhagen, where sustainable tourism is increasingly promoted. This could also extend to public transport, including train and bus services, which will now likely be required to meet stricter environmental standards. Tourists may also notice more emphasis on reducing waste in popular destinations, with cities implementing measures like plastic-free zones, mandatory recycling, and increased availability of reusable options, such as water refill stations. In addition, expect to see environmental taxes for certain tourist activities, particularly those involving nature and wildlife preservation. Number 8. Digital health passes and COVID-19 regulations. Although COVID-19 travel restrictions have largely eased, many European countries are still implementing health pass requirements for travelers arriving from certain regions. As we head into 2025, travelers may still need to show proof of vaccination, recent negative COVID-19 tests, or a health declaration form. The introduction of digital health passes is becoming more widespread. Many travelers will be required to upload their COVID-19 test results or vaccination records onto a digital platform before entering the European Union. This will allow for quicker entry and make it easier for border authorities to verify health information. Some countries may still enforce health checks at borders or require you to have a health screening upon arrival, depending on the situation in your home country or the region you're traveling from. Countries with high tourism rates, such as France, Italy, and Greece, are likely to continue strict monitoring for potential outbreaks of contagious diseases and may revise health-related entry requirements as needed. Always keep an eye on the latest guidelines for travel to your destination in case of last-minute changes. Number 9. Increased border controls in high-risk regions. European countries are stepping up their border controls, especially in areas considered high risk for security threats or illegal immigration. This includes additional checks on travelers from specific countries or regions, especially in places like the Eastern Mediterranean or Balkans. As part of this heightened security, travelers may encounter additional checks at land borders, including ID verification and questioning. Many travelers have experienced delays in high-risk regions due to more rigorous border control procedures, especially during busy seasons. In some cases, travelers might be asked for additional documentation or questioned about the purpose of their visit. Moreover, vehicle checks will likely increase in these regions, where authorities may want to ensure that cars and buses are not being used for illicit activities. Be prepared for more waiting time at border crossings and always ensure you have the appropriate documentation when entering or leaving countries with stricter border controls. Number 10. Reopened tourist visa programs for longer stays. As European countries continue to recover from the global pandemic and focus on revitalizing the tourism industry, several nations are reintroducing and revising longer-stay tourist visa programs. These visas will cater to individuals seeking to spend more than 90 days in the EU for leisure, remote work, or travel. Countries like Portugal, Spain, and Croatia have launched specialized visas for long-term travelers, including digital nomads and those interested in slower travel. In some cases, visitors can apply for residency-style visas that allow them to stay in a particular country for extended periods without the need for full residency status. These programs are designed to attract tourists who wish to stay longer than the typical 90-day tourist visa allows. However, there may be new requirements such as health insurance, proof of financial stability, and criminal background checks. Travelers who wish to stay for extended periods in these countries should prepare their applications well in advance. The updated visa regulations will not only provide flexibility for long-term travelers, but also offer countries a way to benefit economically from extended tourist stays. These new rules for European travel in 2025 will undoubtedly shape the way you experience Europe, whether you're visiting for a short holiday or planning a longer stay. With updated entry requirements, stricter security measures, and new visa programs, travelers should stay informed and prepared for the evolving travel landscape. As you can see, the new rules for European travel in 2025 bring significant changes that could impact your next trip. From visa requirements and digital security measures to luggage restrictions and environmental regulations, staying informed is the key to a smooth and stress-free journey. Whether you're planning a short vacation or an extended stay, understanding these updates will help you avoid surprises and make the most of your time in Europe. Make sure to double-check entry requirements before booking your trip and stay updated on any last-minute changes. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss important travel updates and tips. Let us know in the comments which of these new rules surprised you the most. Safe travels, and we'll see you in the next video.